Crystal against crystal. A clean, delicate sound. I was standing 3 feet away when her fingers slid onto his knee beneath. The linen-draped table. Casual, familiar, possessive. Like they had rehearsed it. The office party hummed around us. Cheap laughter. Expensive cologne. A string quartet trying to convince everyone this was elegance instead of rot. Someone handed me champagne. I took it. My hand didn't shake. She looked at me. Not guilty. Not startled. Just calm. Her thumb traced the seam of his trousers while he leaned in to whisper something that made her smile in a way I hadn't seen in months. Not at home. Not in our bed. Not across our kitchen table. Their glasses clinked again. To success. To promotion. To secrecy. Except it wasn't gossip anymore. It wasn't suspicion. It was something solid. Something I could feel pressing against my ribs. And I swallowed it. Because I understood something in that moment. Rage is loud. Rage is messy. Rage exposes you. Silence is surgical. So I smiled. And I watched. It didn't begin that night. That was just the confirmation. The first fracture came weeks. Earlier, her phone lighting. Up at 2:17 a.m., a name saved as a single letter. J. She said it was Jenna from HR. Jenna didn't wear Tom Ford. Jenna didn't drive a black S-Class. Jenna didn't rest her hand on my wife's thigh under banquet tables. I noticed patterns. Late meetings, sudden gym memberships, perfume applied before grocery runs. Small things, careless things. She grew kinder to me during those weeks. Softer, as if she were compensating for something I couldn't yet prove. That almost hurt more. At dinner, she would ask about my day with rehearsed attentiveness. Her eyes lingered half a second too long, like she was studying me, measuring what I knew. The man from the party, Daniel, senior vice president, polished smile began appearing in her stories. Daniel thinks the project might expand. Daniel says the board is nervous. Daniel recommends, always Daniel. I never interrupted, never accused. I let the name settle into the room like dust, because suspicion without proof is weakness, and I refused to be weak, so I watched. I memorized, and I waited for them to make a mistake. They always do. I didn't confront her. I upgraded the phone plan instead. Cloud backup sync automatically when you know where to look. She thought the passcode was protection. It wasn't. Messages deleted at 3:04. AM still leave ghosts at 3:05. Hotel confirmations forwarded to a private email. Calendar invites marked as client dinner. Photographs of city skylines. Taken from angles I recognized. The Grand. Regent's executive suites. I never opened them in front of her. I waited until she slept. Her breathing steady. Trusting. I lay beside her and scrolled through the quiet evidence of my replacement. Inside jokes. Plans. You looked beautiful tonight. I wish we didn't have to pretend. Pretend. That word lingered. I checked bank statements next. Small charges. Valet services. Wine lists I'd never tasted. I hired no private investigator. I didn't need one. People intoxicated by secrecy grow sloppy. They crave risk. At the next office gathering, I arrived late on purpose. Watched from the bar as she drifted toward him like gravity. His hand found her waist automatically, instinctively, the kind of touch earned over time. I took photographs. Not dramatic, just clear, undeniable. Then I did something unexpected. I invested in his company. Minor shares. Enough to attend the quarterly board review. Enough to have a seat. I didn't need revenge fueled by fury. I needed leverage. Every secret becomes fragile when it can be displayed under fluorescent light. And I was patient. Pain is loud at first. Then it sharpens. Then it focuses. By the time the next board meeting approached, I wasn't wounded. I was prepared. The confirmation came in a single email. Subject line, see you tonight. Not to her. To him. She'd mistyped the address. One letter off. Mine. There was no poetry in it. No romance. Just logistics. Room number. Time. I'll tell him soon. That sentence felt heavier than the rest. I printed it. The following week, during the board review, I waited until Daniel finished presenting projected. Growth numbers tied to a new strategic partnership. My shares gave me a voice. A small one. But enough. I stood. Calm. I have a question about transparency, I said. My voice didn't waver. I connected my phone to the projector. The first image appeared. Time-stamped hotel receipts. Then messages. Then the email. Silence. Not gasps. Not chaos. Just silence. Daniel's face drained of color. The board members shifted in their seats, calculating liability, reputation, risk. I didn't look at him. I looked at her. She had followed him to the meeting, unexpectedly curious. Her expression fractured. Why? She whispered. Not about the affair. About the exposure. I tilted my head slightly. You said you'd tell me soon. The room understood before she did. The partnership dissolved within minutes. So did his position. I sat down. My job there was done. She confronted me at home. Tears. Not for love. For collapse. You ruined everything. No, they did. I placed the printed email on the kitchen counter between us. The same counter where she once planned vacations with me. I gave you time, I said quietly. You could have left. Her shoulders trembled. It wasn't supposed to be real? I asked. She had no answer. Daniel had already issued a public apology. Resigned. His wife had been notified by anonymous courier. I am efficient. I didn't scream, I continued. I didn't beg. I watched understanding settle in. You were collecting evidence. Yes. The word felt clean. Divorce papers slid across the table next. Signed, filed. Assets protected. Reputation intact. She reached for me then, not romantically, desperately, as if proximity could undo precision. I stepped back. Silence again. But this time it belonged to me. The house feels different now. Not emptier. Clearer. I removed the photographs from the walls myself. Packed her belongings with clinical care. No smashed plates. No shattered glass. Just order. Friends call me composed. They mistake absence of chaos for absence of pain. Pain was there. It simply matured into clarity. I learned something valuable. Betrayal doesn't break you. It reveals you. She thought secrecy made her powerful. She forgot I was watching. I don't hate her. Hate is attachment, and I am no longer attached. When I think of that night, the clinking glasses, her hand on his knee, I don't feel anger. I remember the exact moment I chose silence over noise, and how that choice dismantled everything they tried to build. They thought I was swallowing the truth. They never realized I was sharpening it.